Yeah.
That's a big one, dude. That's a giant one.
There is one with him still.
Yeah, I saw.
Get the net. Oh.
I don't want to get. I don't want to get. All right. Yeah.
Chasing man, it shows how to perform. Well, your style's been changed because we're so vain, but you'll take a sunset for stone. Look out her name, you're bad, bad, bad. Yeah, you cut up, said you're bad, bad, bad. Sing for one time, you're the hottest ticket in town. Well, you show us new moves, cause baby, you're smooth, you're above us.
We'll get those live vis lifting clips, strap down those rods, and stow away those tackle bags because we are going fishing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bass Two Anglers podcast. I hope this episode finds you with 5 for 25 in your live well. I'm your host, Keith Nicewonger, and today we're going to be talking to up-and-coming pro Laker Howell. But first, if you like the content we produce on this channel, please hit the subscribe button, ring the notifications bell, and leave us a comment if you're so inclined. We'd love to hear from you. Ducket Fishing is coming to the West. You know these guys. The strongest pro staff in all of professional tournament fishing. Ducket is building a Western presence, and if you haven't seen it yet, you soon will. Find out about the Ducket lineup of pro-driven products by going to their website, ducketfishing.com.
Change. It's inevitable. To improve, you must adapt. The sport is evolving. A paradigm shift is a fundamental change of basic concepts. Don't get left behind. Introducing Paradigm. Paradigm Reels by Ducket Fishing. Pro-driven.
Our guest today is one of the hardest working pros in the sport at this time. He's made a lot of noise this season on the Major League Fishing Toyota Series. Check this out. This year, he is in 7th place in the Central Division of the Toyota Series. He is 19th in the Plains Division of the Toyota Series, and he's 15th in the Southern Division of the Toyota Series. He's also managed to qualify and compete in the Bass Fishing League All-American this season. Quite a year for this young man. He currently has a lead of over 100 points in the Bass Two Anglers Podcast Angler of the Year race, which identifies the professional angler that has had the best season, as we all know. Laker Howell, welcome to the Bass Two Anglers Podcast. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, man.
So I don't know if you know about the Bass Two Anglers Podcast Angler of the Year standings or not. You can ask Dakota Iber about it. He was our winner last year. But there are
really?
so many. Yeah, Dakota, he had a great year last year. He's in the top 10 this year too because he fishes all the time, just like you do. But there are so many leagues and so many tours, and I personally want to know who the top angler every year is. And so this is something we've been doing for a couple of years. We follow all the top pros. So the top pros, of course, fish on the Bass Pro Tour, and they fish on the BASS Elite Series. but these guys all go different places. A lot of them fish Toyota Series events. A lot of them fish Pro Circuit events. A lot of them fish opens, and so those are all fair game in our point standing. So
Oh,
every week
wow.
there's a couple of events that go on that adds to our total. You're at the top, man. You're at the top.
Dang, I didn't know that. Dang. I got
Well,
something on my dad right now.
Yeah, we're gosh, I can't remember the guy's name. He calls himself low budget. Well, we're really low budget. He's going to get mad at me for not remembering his name. I'm gonna have to
Low budget live.
Yeah. We're so low budget that people don't even know about. But hey, I mean, seriously, there are a lot of guys out there, and I've been wanting to get a hold of you earlier in the year, but we're here now, and it just keeps going and going and going. You got a over 100-point lead. There's some big names out there, but it's because you fish so much. You fish.
So I'm ahead of Wheeler right now.
Yeah. Listen, Wheeler fishes the BPT, and he doesn't do anything else. He doesn't fish any other events. So this point standing rewards those guys that fish in the big events. See, I mean, obviously Jacob is a tremendous angler, but he fishes against a field of 80 guys every time, right? Mm-hmm. When you fish in a Toyota Series event, when you fish in an open event, you're fishing against a field of 200 plus, maybe more than that. What was that one? Did you fish in a 300 boat tournament this year?
2 of them. So Gunnersville had 329 of them. I was boat 328. So I remember I was the second to last to go out.
Yeah. So if you finish well in an event like that, you score a lot of points because it's based upon the number of anglers. That's how our system works here. Anyway, I love it when anybody wants to come and debate me and tell me that my top angler is not the top angler, because I got lots of ammunition for him. Anyway, so I guess the thing I want to know right off the bat is you've done so well in the Toyota Series. Have you qualified yet for the Pro Circuit next year?
So this is the first time I've actually talked about this publicly, but
yes,
maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. I want to say yes. I want to so bad, but it's not up to me. That's the problem. That's what really sucks about it. And the way it's set up right now, it's like 50-50, because so the thing is, they take top 5, right? Well, Central Division, I tied for 6th, right? Yeah. So I lost tiebreaker because I only had 3 fish one day. The one tournament I had where I didn't catch a full limit of one day messed my whole season up, right? So I lost tiebreaker to the guy above me, Derek Rimmets. So Rimmets is not – it doesn't sound like he's going to go. I wouldn't imagine he goes. He's been a pro before. He quit the pro fishing. He's got a lot of stuff going for him right now. So I'd be next in line, basically. So I'm waiting on one of the top 5 to say no to it.
Okay. Yeah. That's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
If not this year, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'll know by October, but it's looking pretty good. So I think one of the dudes in the top 5 are going to say no, and it's going to go down. 2 may say no. There's a guy below me that actually might get in as well. That's one of my buddies. So it's shaping
Andrew?
up pretty cool. Yeah, Norby.
Andrew Norby. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. I've never interviewed him. I have not had him on the show, but his YouTube channel is a crack up, and I felt so bad for him when he drove his boat off the cliff.
Dude, I was the second one to see that, man. The first one. He was the first one because it happened to him, but I was the second person to see the boat off the cliff. I rolled in the corner. He was staying with us. The thing was upside down in a ravine, man. It was 5 a.m. It's still dark outside. We're all going to the route. It's terrible.
That's the bleak side of the sport. But I enjoy his video series, and he's definitely a guy I've got on my radar to get on the show. How cool would that be if you guys both made the pro circuit next year?
That'd be awesome. That'd be a dream come true, man.
Yeah. Now, I mean, there's time. Are you going to fish the Northerns this year?
I sure am. I leave Thursday for the Potomac. So yeah.
That is cool. It's cool. Yeah, so you could still do it that way.
Yeah, I told myself I'd fish the final division. Plus, there's one tournament left in the the Plains division. So there's one left out there at Lake
Right.
Truman, but that's in September. So I told myself if I didn't make the pro circuit in Central or Southern, I'd fish all three of those, and I'd fish all three Northerns. So I think I'm just going to fish as if I haven't made it, because technically I haven't yet. You know, that's the thing.
Well, and gosh, if you have the time, if you have the resources, those waters up north are a little different than other places. The Potomac's a river, and Champlain is an ocean.
The St. Lawrence is just long.
St. Lawrence is, I don't know if there's another body of water that compares to the St. Lawrence. So
yeah, that place is special, man. I really like it.
All right. So obviously, I think most people know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. For those that don't know, you are the son of the 2014 Bassmaster Classic winner, Randy Howell. Randy, I interviewed a long time ago, and obviously does well on the Bass Pro Tour. Is professional bass fishing is it kind of a natural path for you to take?
Well, with a name like Laker, I mean, it's hard not to, but
that's kind of predestined, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's always been in the back of my mind. I don't know. When I was growing up, I mean, I saw the ups and downs of it, and I've just loved it so much that, like, I didn't see myself ever doing anything different. And my dad is actually, when I was growing up, he always told me, you don't want to do this. This is not something to make a lot of money at. This is a hard sport, you know, this, that, and the other. But I've seen the highs and the lows. And then what really hooked me was I fished high school tournaments, right? So, like, freshman year of high school, I was still playing basketball. My parents made me play basketball because I'm tall, 6'5".
Okay.
So I was always the tallest kid on the team. So I was a center. I wasn't super great at basketball. I'm decent, but, you know, I didn't like it at all. I hated it. Well, sophomore year, I talked them into letting me just straight fish. So the Tebow bill had just got passed that year that allows homeschool kids to play in public school sports. So it worked out perfectly, and the fishing coach was all for it. So they let me on. I got paired with my first partner, and we stayed together for the whole 3 years of high school fishing. And it was on from there. We won AOY this our senior year. First year we fished, we did not do super great, and it fueled the fire. And then the last 2 years, we made the national championship on Kentucky Lake. It was there both years. And that lake is not that great anymore, but beside the point. So from then on, ever since I made those championships and won AOY, I felt that little bit of victory, and it just like it's like gambling, man. You can't get away from it. It's a drug, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine having to run bleachers and things like that for the basketball team when Lake Guntersville is right there.
I know, dude. It was terrible. It's terrible.
I can understand that. I think a lot of people can understand that. Have you ever? Okay, well, now there's a few other father-son duos out there. Let's face it, not every Bass Tour guy's kids want to fish tournaments, but like for example, Lawson, Hibden, and Dion. Do you talk much to Lawson at all about that? Do you guys share common experiences? Maybe Alton Jones Jr. perhaps?
Yeah. So Alton Jones Jr. is an interesting one, actually. We grew up, he's always been older than everybody. So there was a group of us basically. So there was me, Cal Lane, Chris Lane's son, who's already in the pro circuit right now.
Yeah.
He made it the first year. And then there's Marty Robinson's two sons, Marshall and Mitchell. Then you got Stephen Brown and son. There was always a group of us that was like the same age, but Alton was not. And that's the thing. None of us really thought Alton was ever going to fish because he didn't fish with us. And Brent Chapman's son, Mason is killing it right now. So, you know, we kind of all we'd have our little deals where we all stay at the same campgrounds or hotels, our families would, just to kind of correlate all the kids together. And we go out there and fish off the bank and have little tournaments against each other. And Alton never fished with us, so we didn't really think that he was ever going to do anything. And all of a sudden, he was always reading a book somewhere. That's what was kind of crazy because he's so smart, dude. But then all of a sudden, he just pops out on the pro circuit and then just starts dominating. He's good, man.
Yeah, he's had a lot of success, even on the BPT. Now, how about head-to-head competition with your dad? Have you fished any pro events Has your dad slid in any Toyota Series events that you've been in this year? I kind of remember. I couldn't remember whether I'd seen that or not.
So this year, no. Last year, yes. Last year, so right now we're tied on beating each other. So it's funny. I beat him at Gunnersville pretty bad, and he got mad about that, dude. I mean, like I really did. He was in like 40th, and I got 11th. I barely missed the top 10 cut in that one. And then that was the one I wanted to win at, though, because like that's where he won the classic, and that's where I got at right now currently. So like it was a lot of competition. So fished that one, and then he got me at I want to say it was Chickamauga. He beat me pretty bad at Chickamauga. So went to 1-1, and then there were two other ones. St. Lawrence. He got me at the St. Lawrence by I got him at the St. Lawrence. That's what it was. He got me at
Did you use a flogger? That's the
Lawrence.
big question. Did you use a flogger at the St. Lawrence?
I did not. They were not doing flogger stuff.
Okay.
They were in 40 foot of water.
Okay.
I wish. Yeah, there's a lot of competition there, though. We like to put a little bet on the side. We do a $100 bet whenever he's in a tournament with me. But this year he's fished so much. He's fishing both divisions. So he's doing
Right.
BPT plus Tackle Warehouse. So he ain't fishing Toyotas with me.
That's really great. Now, okay. So the first BPT event this year, Randy gets a 10-14. That's an all-time record for that tour.
It was.
Yeah.
He broke it the very next day with a 12-14.
You know what? That's right. And in between that or before that, you had an 11. That was a massive week for you guys.
Dude, that same week. All right. So go down to Okeechobee for the first Toyota event, right? So we get down there. I finish 11th in that. Me and Nordby actually made a video there. We went to Headwaters. We just had a day in between traveling back. We stopped at Headwaters, and I caught an 11.50, 11.8, and Nordby caught a 12.01 the same day. So we both caught our PBs in the same day on that place. Dude, 3 days later, not even 3 days, my dad catches a 10, 14, 10, 12, something like that. And my mom made the point to tell him, like, it's the biggest one of the BPT, but Lakers still got you. And I had it for one more day. Very next day, I'm out there fishing on Gunnersville. I get a phone call. He said, turn on live right now. I said, why? He said, your dad just shattered your PB. I was like, you've got to be joking.
Oh, that was great. Besides tournament fishing, you're also a guide on Gunnersville, right?
Yes, sir.
And could you pick a tougher lake to guide on in terms of the competition that's out there? I mean, you got so many names that come to mind that guide there on a regular basis. Salzman just won the BPT yesterday, and
he did.
And he was guiding today with somebody. You got a lot of tough competition out there. How's that worked out?
It's actually been pretty good. So, when I'm home, I've got a pretty big following on Instagram. It's growing every day. I'm trying to get to 10,000. So hopefully we can. But, I keep my link on there, and I do trips when I'm home. But, with tournaments and stuff, I don't guide as much. But when I'm home, I usually can get about 1 to 2 trips a week, which helps pay the bills, helps pay for the diesel in that truck out there. Gas prices are unreal right now. But
I live in California, man.
Golly, what is it out there?
Well, the highest I've seen it has been 8, but it's typically about 650. I didn't buy it at 8. I kept driving to another station, but yeah, it's ridiculous.
God bless y'all, man. That's crazy. Yeah,
I think we get what we deserve. Be honest with you.
Goodness gracious, I don't know how you're still living out there. I really don't. But yeah. So I guide part-time when I'm home. Most of my guiding happens from about now until the end of October, because not many people like to come. We're in Alabama, but it still gets as cold as Tennessee, so not many people want to come during the winter and fish Gunnersville. Right. Anyway, we kind of go back and forth, and we trade people back and forth, but there's a few different websites I'm on that kind of help boost my name. So there's always people coming to this town, though, so it's no lack of business.
Well, like I said, I knew for sure that you were guiding there, and that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about because it's a destination point for just about everybody. Are the ledges on fire right now?
Oh my God, they're unreal. It's ridiculous. Me and Norby actually just fished a Wednesday nighter 2 nights ago, and we blew it out. We had 15-3. Yeah, 15-3 with three fish limit, 3-hour tournament. We had 15-3. Our best five, we culled 2 4-pounders. Our best five went 24 and a quarter. Like, it was ridiculous. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, the ledges are on fire. Everyone I take right now is catching some big ones. I took my neighbors last night, and she actually, they're from Tennessee. They just retired, moved here, and they fish a good bit out here a little bit, but I take them about every week or two, and she caught a 6-pounder in 2 hours last night. So, I mean, the big ones are biting, and numbers are too. So it's fun.
That's pretty exciting. So, okay. So now obviously the fishing side seems like it's taken care of itself. But there's obviously a business side, and I would imagine there might be some advantages to coming from a fishing family in terms of understanding the business of the sport. But what kind of things have you done to help prepare yourself for the business side of the sport? Because really, that's what's got to get you through this, right?
It definitely is. So, number one thing I did was I've paid attention to what my dad does. I watch him. I watch him. I watch all the pros. I've grown up with them. So, I've been around it my whole life, like you said. But that obviously won't get you anywhere in the world of business. So I got a 2-year degree in marketing to kind of help with this. I basically majored in fishing, I say.
Mm-hmm.
But I promised my mom I'd get a degree, and I'm glad I did, because it definitely helps a lot. I learned some very good stuff from that. I just did a 2-year here at home online. It was really easy. I don't want to say easy. I actually did a lot. I wanted to get through it pretty quick. So I did a 22-hour semester and 21-hour semester back to back to kind of knock it out.
Mm-hmm.
So got my 2-year. I've paid attention to my dad, and really it just comes down to building relationships in this business. So that's one thing my dad has showed me is relationships, getting with people that not necessarily have influence, but being genuine to everyone you come across, because you never know who it's going to be in the future.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, I mean, just in the few minutes that we've been talking here, I mean, you are you're very genuine, and it feels right. So good stuff. What's the 5-year plan look like? Are we thinking BPT in 5 what are you thinking?
well, I mean, I've been asked that question. My buddy asked me that last week, actually, and I didn't really have an answer for him, but I thought about it. I'm glad you asked me that today, because, right now, I definitely could not handle the BPT. It's ridiculous, the competition they got on that tour right now, but because that's a numbers game. That's
Mm-hmm.
something that is a lot different. My style right now, I'm just getting really good for myself personally at 5 fish, so I finally learned that game to an extent. No one ever learns it 100%, but I've learned it enough to compete. And I think that would take some getting used to. So I think, let's say 6-year plan, I'll be on BPT. That's the plan, because I'm only 20 years old. I turned 21 in August, so still pretty young. Got a lot to learn. If I make the pro circuit for next year, it's going to be a learning curve, because I'm used to co-anglers. I'm used to bigger fields. I don't know if it's going to be easier or harder. I really don't know. So, it's going to be a lot of learning curves, but 6-year plan, we'll say BPT. That'd be awesome.
Is there any thought about fishing the opens and trying to go towards the elites? Or is Major League Fishing the organization you're going with?
I'm going to stay with Major League Fishing, and it's not because I have bad blood with anybody. I was literally Bassmaster's #1 fan my whole life. I've been the kid in the front row watching everything, and it sucks that, everything got split the way it did. But, in my mind, it's a business, and I've seen the numbers on both sides of things. And me personally, I'm going to probably just stay MLF, because it's looking like most of the money is moving that direction. There's a lot of people that disagree with me on that, but it's just how it is. So yeah, I'm definitely going to stay MLF.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that in every other part of our life, it's Republican, Democrat, this or that, whatever, and it's unfortunate that it's got to be BASS or MLF.
I know, it's dang fishing, man.
I know. Can we have something that we can please talk about it, without it becoming a political argument? But I understand what you're saying. And things,
Yeah.
they stack up the way they stack up. And if your relationships are built on the Major League Fishing side, then it would make no sense to move away from that. Same thing if your relationships were on the BASS side, that would make
Yeah.
sense. So that's why we have the Bass Two Anglers podcast, Angler of the Year, because then we can take all those anglers, put them into a big thing, and whoever comes out on top, that's the top angler right there. So
See, I like that. That's cool.
yeah, you gotta hang on to that this year, and then you go out to those sponsors and say, look at that.
Was the top angler, man. Shoot, yeah.
Absolutely. So what does the rest of the season look like for you? You're going to do some guiding. You got a few tournaments left. What else? You and Andrew are going to be out there fishing every Wednesday night or what?
Yeah, they changed it to Tuesdays now. So every Tuesday night we're going to be fishing together. We're going to start doing partner stuff like that. Rest of the season's looking good. So I've already qualified for the championship, the Toyota Championship, $200,000 prize, and that's on Gunnersville in November.
Sets up kind of nice.
That's my favorite time of year here.
Wow.
So I don't want to set myself up for failure by saying anything on here, but I'm very excited about that one.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But I've got the Potomac, Champlain in August, and then I've got St. Lawrence and Truman in September. So I've got 4 tournaments left plus the championship, so 5 big ones. And after that, I'm just gonna go fishing and have fun catching fish in the winter. Do
you deer hunt? I think a lot of the guys I talk to deer hunt. Are you a deer hunter?
Can't do it, man. I can't do it. That's like worm fishing for me. I can't just sit there and drag all day long. I'm not Mark Davis. I can't do it. I like duck hunting.
I mean, I live in California, so you fire a gun in California, man. There's not too many places you can go and fire a gun. So, for me, it's just fishing as well. So you duck hunt though?
I do. I love duck hunting. Duck hunting I did not go this past season because I'm learning that the bass bite really good during duck season on Gunnersville. So kind of took away from that. Little problem. But, I usually I fish them all the time. That's literally all I do is fish. I fish and I work out 5 days a week. I go every night before bed. So, it's just it's a pretty great way to live.
So you can follow Laker Howell on Instagram at Laker Howell Fishing, correct?
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
He's got a website. He's got a very cool website that I've spent quite a bit of time on recently, LakerHowellFishing.com. Very good that you have all the same names. So many people have a variety of different names, but that Laker Howell Fishing is a good thing. Have you ventured into a YouTube channel yet?
I'm starting one this winter. So I'm working on it right now. Norby's good buddy of mine, and he's big on YouTube. So I'm learning a lot from him before I start it because I'm too much of a perfectionist for it to go up and not be perfect. So this winter I'll have one. It'll be the exact same name, Laker Howell Fishing. So it'll be easy to find.
Very good. Very good. Well, Laker, I appreciate you being with us today. Big fan here. You can each week the standings change a little bit, but gosh, I think from I don't know, when was the first tournament you fished this year? Was it in January?
Beginning of February, first week.
And you had a pretty high finish there, all right?
Got 11th in that one, yes, sir.
Okay, so probably after your second tournament you fished is when you took over the lead because you're fishing all these 200 boat plus events and you're finishing, in the upper 10% of it, and that scores a lot of points. So,
good deal.
Well, best of luck to you, and we'll talk to you again soon, I hope.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right. It's been my pleasure.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode. If you are interested in taking a look at our Bass Tour Anglers podcast Angler of the Year standings, please go to our website, basstouranglers.com. You can see not only all the events that we follow and compile points for, but you can also see the results of those events. Plus, it's kind of cool to check out the top 10 and maybe the top 20 if you want to. We have all the standings there. Go to our website, basstouranglers.com, and you'll get all the information that you want about that. Folks, until next time, keep those live vests zipped and clipped, and we will talk to you again very soon.